prime time on the top game, it's a fine line. Man in the match, that's daveye, he's the main guy, keep a close eye. Make sure you don't make no wrong play, cause I'm with Jose and Andre. And when Cyrus comes to walk in, you better know that you are watching Premier League. Daveye, tell them what time we on. Prime time. Let me hear you say it. Premier League. Daveye, tell them what time we on. Prime time.
Hello and welcome to Premier League Primetime, Season 3, Episode 5. And quickly before we start, I can't lie, that clap was horrible. But we'll just keep rolling. Of course, I'm here back, of course, with the Fab Four. We are back. The World Cup just ending. A return to the Premier League on the horizon. Next weekend, we're waiting. Of course, I'm here with Jose, Cyrus, and Andre. And speaking of Jose, I just have to wish this man a very happy early birthday and a happy belated to Waleed as well. Of course, I know. Yes, I know. Jose's birthday is coming up, so a very happy early birthday to him and happy belated to Waleed. Of course, we are very, very, very happy to have these two wonderful members of the Premier League Primetime family. And also quickly, I also want to give a massive shout and a massive thank you to Huck for everything that you've been through. I know Huckleberry is out the door in January due to personal things, personal reasons. I wish him nothing but the very best. What a lad Huck is. But anyways, we have a lot to get through. I'm not even going to ask because I already know what this is going to result into, and it's been a pretty good day. I can't lie. I think
I'm good. I'm good. You?
I'm feeling all right. And Andre, Cyrus, how are we doing? Oh, I missed it. I always miss it. I miss it so much. Anyways, now first part of this episode, we're just gonna get right into this, looking at this World Cup, just from a very general perspective. But what have your overall thoughts have been on this World Cup? Anyone can have.
I mean, I think we've seen some of the best matches in a long time in World Cup history. Honestly, I think the Netherlands, Argentina 2-2 last minute cheeky FIFA goal from Weghorst, then the penalty shootout, obviously, and then obviously the final today. I think I've seen two of the best games in World Cup history. So I think definitely one of the best World Cups of all time in my book.
And I think a lot of us kind of complained about a Winter World Cup, but I think that's part of what contributed to the matches being so exciting. We weren't dealing with players that had just come off a huge demanding season. They were still really energized, and I think that contributed to a lot of the matches being so entertaining.
100%. And next, moving on, and this is an entire opinionated question too, so I'm just going to pop over to you for a minute. In your opinion in this World Cup, if you had to choose one player from this whole tournament, who is your standout player of the tournament? If you could give that golden ball to any player who has played in this tournament, who would you give it to and why?
No, I'm gonna give it to Messi. That was pretty obvious, Dave.
Yeah. Of course. He's been brilliant, obviously.
35 years old, it's pretty impressive. Obviously he's not the same player as he was, but he's adapting his game in a way to still, help his team. And it was just today's game, it didn't even feel real. It was crazy. I literally had like 80 heart attacks. But this was definitely the best World Cup I've ever seen. That's for sure. There's so many upsets. You see like Morocco beating Spain, Belgium, Portugal. It's crazy stuff. And I think it was an overall great World Cup.
Definitely. Messi, he was unbelievable this World Cup. And I have to say, as much as a Manchester United fan that I am, as much as I love what I've loved Cristiano Ronaldo, what he's done for the club, I've said it so many times, the debate is done. He's Messi's World Cup champion. He's simply the best. And I know Joe, Jose wasn't too happy about that. He was wanting France.
No, I mean, honestly, before the game, I said I did want Messi, but it's hard for me not to want the pesky trolls to continue. But what I did want to say is that I really want to shout out Kylian Mbappe, who I think honestly carried his team as much as Messi did this World Cup. And I think that, I mean, we have to compare him, honestly. I would honestly compare him with Pele already, because I mean, he's just like Pele He has 3 World Cups, but one of them he was injured. He carried his team to 2 of them. I think Mbappe's pretty much already carried his team almost to 2 World Cups as well. So I think just shouting him out, I think he's going to be one of the best players of all time at the end of his career,
100%.
no doubt.
Definitely. And next, Andre, in your opinion, of all the games played, what in your opinion has been the most surprising result of this tournament?
It's a tough one. I think it's got to go to one of the Morocco matches. I'd say probably when they beat Spain was the first sign that we might have a serious team in contention there. Or I guess maybe the Belgium match in the group stage would have been also a good sign. But I think for me, I'd probably go the Morocco-Portugal because I thought we were on track to at least having Portugal and Argentina both in their distinct semifinals, but we didn't get there. That was a huge surprise, and that's I think when the whole world really did get behind Morocco was when they made it to the Final Four as an African nation. It's crazy.
Definitely. And of course, next, I think this is a pretty obvious question, but looking at just players and nations that surpass expectations, I'll start with nations. I think that's a pretty obvious one. We've literally been talking about them so far nonstop. Are we just going to give it to Morocco and just move?
I mean, I would say Croatia as well. I think a lot of people were
definitely.
thinking Croatia would go out a little earlier.
Any players on Croatia that you think have just stood out in particular?
Petkovic, their forward, Petkovic, I think he's been pretty good. Obviously, Modric, I think a lot of people were expecting him to do well, but maybe not that well.
Definitely.
And their goalkeeper, Livakovic, as well.
Definitely. 100%.
I mean, I think Perisic has like he's in the top for assists in the World Cup right now, like in total contributions. So he's just that Croatian team. It's like we had all this news with Belgium aging and maybe not being, not living up to the talent they have. But Croatia wasn't. I mean, they've done it with an aging team. They've shown that it can still be done.
Definitely. Croatia and Morocco are two that have definitely been brilliant. And in regards to players that have surpassed expectations, I mean, you look at some of these Moroccan players like Amrabat, he's been absolutely brilliant. He's been spectacular. The other midfielder alongside him, the number 8, he plays for Angers. I don't have his exact name, but he's been brilliant as well. And so on that specifically, and is Jose and I have been talking about a lot as of recently, Josko Vardiol. I mean, we already knew of this kid's talent. He's an incredible player. But he's obviously going to have a huge price tag now, especially after he signed a brand new, what was it, a 4.5 year contract with Leipzig. So yeah, he's definitely going to have a huge price tag on his head. 100 million, I think, is going to be the minimum you're going to attempt to get Leipzig to sell. And one more in terms of players, I never expected Antoine Griezmann to contribute in the way that he has. When you look, he's everywhere. I mean, the man's playing at the 6, he's playing at the 8, he's in the 10, he's drifting out wide, he's staying up front. I mean, this man was everywhere. Defending in the box, he was brilliant. Antoine Griezmann was phenomenal. I just have to shout him out there. And now, we've given the positives. Now we're gonna flip the coin because we're devil's advocate. We've always played devil's advocate here on Premier League Primetime. So, for who underwhelmed, are there any nations or particular players that for you just didn't really live up to what was expected of them?
I mean, when it comes to underwhelming teams, like you can obviously go a lot of the powerhouses. Germany didn't make it out of the group stage. Spain out around to 16. But for me, I was expecting a lot more of Denmark, considering the Euro they came off of. That was the one that was the biggest shock, and just a huge. It was so underwhelming for me to see them go out so early because I thought they had a good team. I thought they were going to come off the Euro, be strong for this World Cup, maybe push a quarterfinal, but they didn't make it out. That was the most disappointing for me.
Cyrus, what about you? Do you see any nations or players in particular that we haven't already mentioned as those who have really underwhelmed at this World Cup?
Yeah, probably Uruguay. I thought Uruguay was going to be dark horse. They're pretty disappointing, to be honest. Yeah, I'd say Uruguay. I also agree with the Denmark shot. I thought they were going to be much better. They were pretty poor as well. In terms of Spain and Germany, I thought they were going to be bad anyway. So there's that. I thought, I don't know. I thought Brazil, like, obviously, like, disappointingly lost to Croatia. I didn't think they're like bad. I think they just got kind of unlucky at the end, to be honest. I just think the issue with what happened in that game was they just kept attacking for some reason, and I don't know why. They didn't really shut up shop, kind of like Argentina every single game. So yeah.
Yeah, and I think one that we have to point out, it has to be Belgium. I mean, it's been a long time coming for those who they definitely underwhelmed in regards to, we at least expected them to get out of the group, we should say. We at least expected of that, Jose. But they just failed to they failed to do that. I didn't expect them to finish first because obviously their age and whatnot. I mean, Kevin De Bruyne was right. I mean, it wasn't the right thing to say.
Kevin De Bruyne was horrendous in this World Cup.
Oh no, he was horrific. We're just gonna leave Lukaku's name out of it.
There were a lot of players in that Belgian team who were kind of just
there are very few,
and
that were actually
there were a lot of them that were just kind of they were in the press kind of talking about how disjointed the locker room is. Like that team.
Yeah, that was so weird to me. From De Bruyne, Courtois,
De Bruyne and Courtois.
Vertonghen.
Yeah, Vertonghen. I think Hazard complained about the aging defense too. Yeah. So all of them were just they were not together.
They definitely were, and that team just seemed like an absolute shambles. One player that I actually did wanted to shout out, in regards to the positives, I did want to give a shout out to a few of the US men's national team's players, in particular, Tyler Adams and Yunus Musa. I think those two were by far the best players for the US men's national team. They bossed it in the England game. And I'd say aside from the Memphis goal against Holland, he was one of the best players on the pitch. Still, Tyler Adams has a big future ahead of him. And if he goes from one of the a top club at some point soon, I wouldn't be surprised. He's a great player, and I know Cyrus would know a thing or two about Yunus Musa, Hale End graduate. Of course, I know he knows a thing or two about that. But for players that have underwhelmed, Jose and I watched the match earlier, and we pointed out several times Lautaro Martinez. I mean, how many chances?
Yeah, that was a weird one. That was a weird one. I really didn't expect Julian Alvarez to take his place over the course of the tournament. I thought he'd be,
and he's been good.
Firing.
Julian Alvarez has been brilliant. Enzo Fernandez has been spectacular as well. He honestly has been. And speaking of those guys, moving into the World Cup winners, Argentina. Now, this may sound like a weird question that I'm about to ask you on, but do you think that Argentina were really the best team in the tournament? Or if you don't think so, like, why did you think they end up winning the World Cup? And just put Messi aside, even though Messi's Messi, right? Like were other players key in the system that they played? Do you think the manager Lionel Scaloni takes any credit in regards to tactics, substitutions, style of play, etc.?
I mean, I think that they won the World Cup because of one man, and it was Emiliano Martinez. I think he single-handedly won them the game
Lionel Messi, of course.
But he, apart from Messi, single-handedly won them the game against the Netherlands and in the final.
Yeah, I thought McAllister was great too, especially in the first half. He got a little tired at the end, but this whole tournament he's been amazing. Like McAllister, a bunch of like players in the midfield originally didn't start against Saudi Arabia, and they came on, and they've just been brilliant. Especially the young boy. Why did I forget his name?
Enzo Fernandez,
yeah, great as well. And DePaul, he's always gonna give 100% effort no matter what. Sometimes, throughout the games, his quality was lacking a little bit, but I think he's still so important for this Argentinian midfield, especially Molina. Molina was great too. I think he's a great right back.
I mean, in the final today, I mean, the Acuña's like ability to keep the ball. I mean, the France were pressing him a lot at some points, and he still found a way to find the right pass. So even Acuña, who's not, I mean, he's not a superstar. He's not of the caliber of the fullbacks that France has. I thought he was fantastic.
Absolutely, 100%. And even after, and looking at the future, right? We'll say post Lionel Messi. Do you think this Argentina side has a promising future for them? We're saying post Lionel Messi era.
It's a tough one. I just think Argentina were confused about their identity for many years. And I mean, they've won a Copa America and a World Cup like in succession, and I think Emi Martinez made his debut in 21 for them. I think this Argentina team, they kind of played like cunts. Like they were aggressive. They won the ball a lot. This was not nice boy Lionel Messi. There were plenty of clips of him kind of
No,
not being
yeah.
like the nice boy. Okay, that's not a Messi we've seen before. I think Emi Martinez, Romero, De Paul, like all these guys, I think they helped bring like a really like rough housing identity to Argentina, just being winners, talking shit. And I think that's what has won them. They have the talent. They're obviously good guys, but on the field they're warriors, and I think that's what's been the difference these last two tournaments.
Definitely. Jose, I saw you shaking your head. I want to hear your thoughts on this. Why don't you think this Argentina side has a promising future in line for them post this World Cup?
I just think that Messi is the only link between midfield and attack for them. I think that everything plays through him always. I think that they're gonna really struggle to get the ball up to Julian Alvarez and Lautaro Martinez when Messi retires. And I think that a lot of times that they just need something, and Messi provides that. And a lot of their players don't just have that ability to turn it on and create something out of nothing.
That's very true, but to be fair, no one is going to just single-handedly replace Lionel Messi.
Of course.
Those are huge shoes to fill. I don't expect anyone to replace those shoes. I don't care who you are. No,
It'll be tough, but I think if they maintain this identity, I think they'll keep producing the technical talent to be creative. So I just think they have to keep heading in this direction that they're going, and just keep hoping that they can create the talent.
100%. Next section, I call it the 2014 World Cup James Rodriguez category. And I say this in regards to what players do you think really made a name for themselves looking at the performance of this World Cup? It could be any age. But in regards to players that, we didn't necessarily know a whole lot about before, or players that we did know, but just thought that they weren't really, cracking it throughout the season, but then they've just come to life this World Cup and they've lit it up.
Yeah, for me it has to be Amrabat. I didn't know who he was before the World Cup, and I then saw him pretty much destroy the Spanish midfield and the Portuguese midfield, and I was very sad about it. But I think he absolutely bossed it. I think a lot of top teams should definitely be looking at him.
100%. Cyrus, what about you? Any names that come off the top of your head that fit this sort of criteria?
Probably Vardio. Thought he was great all tournament. Fortunately, he got schooled by Messi, but I'll give him a pass for that. He was great besides that.
Yeah, I agree with that. And Andre, what about you?
It's a tough one. I think there are a few to choose from. Like I think Amrabat, Tottenham fans will know just because we were linked to him, I think, sometime before we signed Bentancur, and everyone was just moaning like really a Fiorentina midfielder. And now we've seen the talent that this guy has. I think I'm gonna still go Guardiola. I thought face mask Guardiola is hard to beat. That man was class.
That definitely was. Face mask Guardiola, face mask Rudiger, just giving the same vibes. I think a player who's been absolutely superb, you have to say Nopert for the Dutch. I mean, I didn't have a clue of who this guy was, and he's just coming out of nowhere. LVG being LVG, the super tactician that he is, Louis van Gaal, he puts him in goal, and it's like, who is this player? And he came in and he's done wonders for the Dutch. He was absolutely brilliant. Cody Gakpo as well. Of course, Jose and I would definitely know a thing or two about Cody Gakpo, especially everyone at Manchester United and Eric Ten Hag as well. Definitely one to watch for in January. And looking at some of these players, right? Which of these players that we've sort of been that sort of fit into this criteria will end up getting moves in the January transfer window, like regardless of and for the players in specific, what potential clubs could be of interest? How much do you think where do you think a rough estimate of what a potential transfer fee could be because of the performances in the World Cup?
Guardiola, I know, has been linked to Real Madrid, Man U, and Chelsea. So I think that he could go to any of those three. I would say it's more likely Chelsea, Real Madrid, probably Chelsea for me. I think that he'll go to, and I think that the fee could be anywhere between 85 and 120 million.
100%. Cyrus, what about you?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with Joe as well. I think any big team in Europe is gonna want to sign him for sure. I wouldn't mind if we signed him partnered up with Saliba. But yeah, I also thought it was kind of weird that Saliba didn't really play. I mean, like I get it. I don't know. I think he's
I would
better
have
than
played Saliba. I would have played him.
I think he's better than Upamecano. He was like,
Yeah.
shaking with England. I thought he's better.
Definitely.
But honestly, like I'm okay with that. Like we saw what happened with Gabriel Jesus. I'm okay with our players not playing because he's gonna be out for a while.
Serious, don't worry. You only have Mr. Call Me to get you through the rest of the season. And Andre, Andre, what about you?
It's a tough one. The Amrabat one has been on my mind a lot. McAllister too. I'm not sure what McAllister's going to choose to do, but I think Amrabat, I feel like the fee will be between 30 and 50. I think Fiorentina are really going to try to get good money for their man. And for some reason I see him going to Chelsea. I feel like they're going to be the only ones willing to spend that kind of money, but I have no idea if he's even linked with them. I just feel it that's something that could happen, but I don't know.
I agree. And once again, I'll say Cody Gakpo, his price will be rising through the market. And apparently Ruben Nistelrooy has already come out and has said that their price is definitely going to change for Cody Gakpo. I'd say it's going to be roughly, 50 million pounds probably would get the deal done. And now, inspired by the man, the myth, the legend, Jose himself, has given me an idea that we are going to make a Premier League primetime World Cup combined 11 team of the tournament. So we'll just say a 4-3-3. We'll get that straight. For goalkeepers, we'll start in goal, right? I'll say for the choice of players in goal, I guess you could go with Emi Martinez, Bruno of Morocco, and Livakovic, maybe Chesney. So I'll let you lot decide because I just play devil's advocate. I'll start with you. Who should be in goal for our World Cup team in the tournament?
Yeah, originally I had Bono, but after this match today, I think I have to give it to Emiliano Martinez. I don't think anyone else really can take it away from him.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the same thing. By the way, in terms of goalies, Lloris is shite, and I knew that I knew that when the penalty shootout would happen, the amount of balls that were like right next to him, like my nan could have saved like Diabola's penalty.
Or Messi's if he just hadn't dived first.
Yeah, Messi's penalty wasn't good either.
Yeah.
I'm feeling sorry for Andres.
Okay, one shootout does not
define
define his whole tournament. He was absolutely amazing the entire tournament. He was like getting a crazy amount of saves per game. He was a wall for France. Think about how many he saved against England.
The Hugo Lloris for France is not the same for the Hugo Lloris for Tottenham.
Well, Hugo Lloris, besides against England, had like 0 saves the other game.
He had 7 saves today. As a shot stopper, he was absolutely amazing the entire tournament. He was one of the goalies of the tournament easily. Like top 4 goalies of the tournament easily. Like he led them to okay, whatever. Captain of the
pretty
finals.
shocking.
Anyway,
but he had an amazing tournament. That's like so stupid.
He was not that good.
He was amazing the entire tournament.
No, he may have had a good tournament. He was just shocking today and not a good goalkeeper in general.
Yep, it was shocking for the shootout.
Anyways,
he saved the Messi long shot. That one.
If Harry Kane hit it on target,
the one that was right down the middle,
hit it on target, then they would be in the final right now.
Andre, who would you like in goal for our combined 11?
Yeah, I think I'd go Emi Martinez. I think.
Okay. All right, that's fair. We will put Emi Martinez in goal. Going over to right back, I guess Molina, Hakimi. Can't really think of anyone else if I'm honest. Should we just go with Hakimi at right back?
Yeah, I think he was everywhere. He's so hard to play against. So quick, so physical. Great defender. I love him.
100%. Andre, serious? Should we go with Hakimi in there at right back? All right,
Yeah.
that's fair enough. Into the center backs. We're just gonna put Vardiol in there because Vardiol is gonna be a mainstay for all of us. Alongside Vardiol, now that's gonna be the real question. So of course,
I would go Otamendi. I think he really stepped up. I didn't think he was. I thought it was really stupid that he was playing ahead of Lisandro Martinez, but I think he really stepped up and played really well in the back line for Argentina and saved them a few times.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree. The thing about Otamendi is he always has a little mistake in him. He
Yeah, he
can
does.
sometimes be a little too ruthless, but I think for the majority of the tournament, besides the penalty today, he was world class. And I don't even like him, to be honest, but he was amazing. So I'd give it to him.
Otamendi. That's actually a very interesting one because I was also at the same time thinking maybe a Roman Saiz, one of them. That the other Moroccan defender plays for West Ham. The names slipped off the top of my head. I have the likes of what's his name? The other defender from Argentina, Romero. I thought he had a good tournament. Didn't think he was amazing, but thought he was good. But Otamendi's a fair shout. I'm not sure if I like the look of it, but you ought to decide. I just play devil's advocate. That's my role here. Andre, are you agreeing with Otamendi, or do you have a different sort of take?
The three I had in mind were Guardiola, Romero, and Saiz were the three that I had in mind.
Well, Guardiola's already in, so
for me, I think Otamendi. I don't think he could have accomplished what he did this tournament without like the rest of the back line that he had. He still strikes me as a bit clumsy at times. I don't know. I don't think Otamendi was the reason this back line was so good for me.
I could do Saiz if that's better for you.
Yeah. Should we change to Saiz instead of Otamendi?
Yeah, we could do that.
Okay,
yeah.
that's fair. Serious thoughts on that?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. I guess we're changing. So we have Roman Saiz and we have Josko Vardiol.
We could go Walker Zimmerman.
Left back. This is going to be very, very, very interesting. Of course, you have the likes of Acuna, who's been great, obviously. Everyone's gonna give me all the abuse in the world, but you know what? I actually thought Luke Shaw had a good tournament. I'm not saying he's the guy. Before anyone gets on me, and I know Andre looks like he is about to go. He's about to go in on me here. He looks like Andre's about to have a heart attack the moment I said Luke Shaw. but no, I'm just saying I just thought he had a good tournament. That's all I'm saying. Anthony Robinson, I thought he had a really good tournament as well. At left back, but I'm going to say Acuna before because I'm not trying to lose one of our co-hosts here as we're recording. So are we all agreeing on Acuna, or does someone different?
No, Theo Hernandez.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Theo Hernandez.
Yeah, because if I just think of players I wouldn't want to play against, I would never want to play against him. He can do so much. He's so good physically. He's so good at dribbling. He has a shot. I mean, he can do anything, and it's a nightmare that left side of France.
I would have gone Acuna, but there is he missed a couple games. He was suspended. He didn't play the first game. I think he's still great, but I'm gonna go Theo.
That's fair. Andre, who's your first choice left back option? So I'm assuming it's either Perisic or Luke Shaw.
Well, see, I was going to say I like Acuna and Perisic, but I know it's controversial. But Perisic did not play left back, I guess, this tournament, which is fair. But I thought his attacking contributions were quite brilliant. Those are my choices, but we can go somebody else, Acuna or Perisic for me.
All right. I mean, majority is saying Theo Hernandez. What are your thoughts on that?
I guess I'm with it. I don't know. That's fine.
I
guess I don't have too strong a feeling toward Theo Hernandez.
Well, I guess we'll leave this one for the comments or for whoever's listening at this point. If you haven't been tuned out, but Acuna, Teo, I think it's a great battle for who's in for that left back spot. For me, I'll say Teo Hernandez. I thought he was great as well. Into the midfield trio now. All I'm going to say is that I've seen a lot of combined 11s. Jude Bellingham is getting a place in this 11. I don't care. He's getting a place in this 11, and I don't think anyone could possibly argue that. And he's my guy, but don't say I'm biased, but Jude Bellingham, I mean, serious. I mean, what a World Cup this boy has been. 19 years of age. I mean, what is the ceiling for a talent like him?
Yeah, he's only 19. He has so many more World Cups, so many more seasons ahead of him. I think if he wants to, no disrespect to Dortmund, I think they're a good side, but I think if he wants to expand his career, he's got to go somewhere else, Real Madrid, maybe Liverpool, even though Liverpool's really not that good right now. But yeah, honestly, my three, it's going to be Bellingham, Modric, and I think I'm going to go McAllister. That's my three personally. But yeah, Mega, you don't like that.
We're gonna have a problem because I'm requiring that Tchouaméni and Amrabat are in this team, and I'm okay with that.
Amrabat's a good pick, and honestly, screw Bellingham. I'm gonna go Amrabat, Modric.
There's so many good picks,
but like McAllister is just like he just like does the dirty work, like he constantly tracking back, constantly. He scored against Poland. I thought he was great, and I think since Argentina won, he deserves to be there. But that's up to you guys.
So
my three is just to be clear, my three is Bellingham, Tchouaméni, Amrabat.
I thought that's very fair. Andre, what about you? What are you saying? Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I'm closer to Joe's. I liked I was thinking Bellingham, Tchouaméni, but I mean for me, I thought I know they didn't go that far, but I thought like my sixes as the best ones, or the ones I thought were just a level above, were Amrabat and Casemiro for Brazil. I thought Casemiro carried a lot of what they did. So
100%.
For me, I was initially thinking, who do I fear more, Amrabat or Casemiro? I'd go Casemiro, Bellingham, Tchouaméni. But
100%. I just think Amrabat has to be in there. I mean, he's
yeah. I think if Brazil had made it one stage further, I would take Casemiro over Amrabat.
Yeah, same.
And Casemiro is Jose and I's guy, but I agree with that. For me, we'll say our midfield. We'll put Amrabat in there. We'll put Tchouaméni in there. We'll put Jude Bellingham, 100%. And now, last but not least, the front three. Now, two of those places will be taken. Kylian Mbappe, Lionel Messi, they get in there, 100%. I don't think there's any argument. Now, up front, we could go a variety of different places with this. We could do a Messi, a false nine, I don't know, if you really want to put Saka in there. You could do a Griezmann up front. Giroud. Hey, Giroud's not a bad shout. Giroud's not, again, I know Andre looks like he's about to have a heart attack because I didn't say Harry Kane. Harry Kane doesn't need to be in this 11. Who's a missing piece in this attack, would you say?
I mean, in my team, I had an extra midfielder because I think that there aren't any more standout attackers that stand out more.
Yeah, we could go a 4-4-2 diamond if you want. We could do that.
Yes, I would maybe play an extra attacking midfielder, maybe Modric or Griezmann.
Okay, yeah, we could do that. Are we saying put Griezmann in like a number 10 and have Messi and Mbappe up front as a front two?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Andre, do you agree with that?
all right, that's fine. That's good.
Did you have a player? Did you have an attacker in mind, Andre?
He wants to
no. I was thinking no. I didn't like anything that Davis said, but
of course.
I was thinking over any other attacker, I'd rather just go like maybe another Argentinian. But if we go midfield, then I guess we can do Griezmann. But I was thinking hopefully we could have fit McAllister in there. We can do it.
McAllister or Griezmann.
We'll put Antoine Griezmann in there. McAllister can be in honorary mention. There it is. There's our World Cup combined 11. I'll go through it really quick. In goal, Emiliano Martinez. At right back, Hakimi. Center backs, Roman Saiz and Josko Vardiol. At left back, we have, it was Teo Hernandez. Midfield trio of Amrabat, Jude Bellingham, and Aurelien Tchouameni. Griezmann in as like a number 10, drifting in behind, and Kylian Mbappe and Lionel Messi in up front. And lastly,
and coached by Greg Berhalter.
100%, 100% Greg Berhalter coaches his team. And lastly, to touch on this World Cup, what, in your opinion, what's your biggest headline or moment or story of this World Cup? It could be literally anything. Like I don't know, it could be a goal, celebration, like a moment. For me, it has to be the entire Brazil bench doing the Richarlison celebration. I thought that was like just watching Chiche and Fred and Danny Alves all doing the Richarlison pigeon celebration. It was absolutely hilarious. I love to see it, and then to see Roy Keane's reaction to it after, which made it just 8 times more funny. In your opinion, Cyrus, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I fancied that moment. I don't really know. I guess like that was a good moment. I found it kind of interesting today when Messi was going to lift the trophy and the guy put the cloak on him. I don't know what that's called.
Oh, yeah.
It kind of looked weird, to be honest.
I found that kind of weird.
Looked pretty uncomfortable with that, but I don't know.
Yeah, I found that really weird. Jose, anything from you?
I don't know. I mean, it's very basic, but just Messi winning it, honestly.
Yeah.
I think just like confirming he's the GOAT, and a lot of people, including myself. I mean, like you can't really beat that. I mean, he's the greatest player who's ever lived. So like that's and it's been confirmed today. I mean, so I think that's pretty crazy.
100%. You can't.
We're lucky to have lived through it, honestly.
Definitely. And now next, just to run through leaving the World Cup. I'm only joking. I was only joking. I was waiting for Andre to notice that I had forgotten about him. You know, just for the funnies, funnies.
Sure.
No, I'm serious. I did that on purpose. Andre, what about you?
Yeah, for me it was Brazil's overhead kick. I mean, because that just felt like that was them. That was Brazil. That was Brazil. That was Brazil's. That was them breathing football. That was just their style. That was capoeira. Was that goal? So, yeah. For me,
if it wasn't a Tottenham player that scored, would that be your moment?
I mean, I think if it wasn't the Tottenham player score, that would be your moment. Like, I was wondering, wait, are you one of the people that thinks like Brazil were like better with Jesus up top?
No, I think Richarlison was good. I just think Jesus is better.
I just think they're just really different. They offer different.
I think Richarlison fits the style better for Brazil. I just think in general Jesus is better.
I like, for me, as a footballer, I think Gabriel Jesus offers more in terms of like what he can do technically on the ball, and what he can create spaces and create chances for other players. I think technically as a footballer, I think Gabriel Jesus is a better footballer, but I think in terms of goal scoring, I think Richarlison, we've seen it in this tournament. I think he suits the way Brazil plays 100%. And now leaving the World Cup and looking just at a few Premier League updates and headlines that happened during the World Cup. We're gonna start with Bournemouth. I know, a very weird place to starting. Why are we starting with Bournemouth? Because they've found their new manager. They have done the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer route and have appointed Gary O'Neill as the new permanent manager of Bournemouth. Now, let's get some pros and cons on this. Serious. What are some pros and cons on this? Do you think this is the right decision for Bournemouth? If not, do you think there was a better appointment or a better person that could have suited Bournemouth going forward?
No, obviously there's like a lot of top managers that are open right now. No offense to Bournemouth, I don't think they'd go there. So I think it's interesting. We'll have to see how it goes if it's successful. But for the most part, I think they weren't going to get anyone world class. No offense. So yeah.
Jose, what about you? Thoughts on this?
Yeah,
Like
it's
pros
an
and
interesting
cons.
appointment. I don't really know too much about him. I know that he hasn't managed a team yet. So, I mean, we'll see how he does.
That's very fair. And I know Andre was going a bit in depth about it before when we were talking about Gary O'Neill, and in terms of if this is the guy that they want to go with going forward, they're going to need to back him. They're going to need to show serious ambition. Andre, do you think this is Bournemouth trending in the right direction, or do you think that there is someone better or a better candidate that they could have appointed?
I think obviously he doesn't have that much experience, O'Neill, so we just have to examine what they've done so far and what they've shown. Um, I think he's probably the right man to get them to survive the season, because the players do seem quite inspired under him for now. Maybe it's new manager bounce, I'm not sure, but I think he's a manager who knows how to kind of strategize through a game and just get and just play well in a game. I don't know how good he is in terms of long-term achievements, but he's good at just getting his players to fight the full 90 minutes, reading the momentums of the game. And I think that's where he could be decent for them. But I think it's it's the right decision for now, yeah.
Yeah, I can definitely see that side of it. Next, of course, I think this was expected, isn't it? This was inevitable. Cristiano Ronaldo, of course, his contract was terminated after that Piers Morgan interview. And just taking a look back at Cristiano Ronaldo's second stint at Manchester United, Cyrus, in your opinion, do you think this was a success or a failure, and why?
I thought the first season he was criticized too much. I thought he was really good, honestly. Like, sure, there's some games where he was off, and people said, "Oh, they play better without him." But he carried you guys throughout a lot of games, and I think he deserves more credit for his first season than he actually had. Obviously, we can talk about the Piers Morgan interview, what happened. I think he's just not obviously being Messi fan. I think he's being discredited too much for the player he is. I still think he has something in him. Obviously, he's not going to be the same, but obviously second season wasn't good. There's other things, going on, with his family, that obviously like we don't know too much about, but saying that the owners didn't believe him, that his daughter was sick, things like that. Obviously he complains a little bit. We saw that with the interview. We also saw that with the Portugal manager. He had a falling out with him too, maybe. So obviously there's some things about Cristiano Ronaldo that you're gonna get. But I don't think it was horrible. But I don't think it was, what everyone thought. But we also have to remember he's 37, so
Definitely.
you can't rely on him.
100%. And in your opinion, what is next for Cristiano Ronaldo? Where do you think he goes? Do you think it's to Sporting Lisbon? Do you think he somehow finds another European club to take him, or do you think it's riding out his career, whether it's in Saudi Arabia, MLS, China, who knows? What do you think?
I don't think he wants to. I don't think he's done yet. I think, especially after seeing what Messi just did, I think he wants more. I think he's going to try to find a team that wants to play, that is playing Champions League football. I don't know what team that is. I don't think it's going to be like one of the top sides, but I think it's going to be a decent team. I don't really know where, but I don't think he wants to be done yet. I don't think he wants to go to MLS. I don't think he wants to go to Lisbon. I think he wants to still play, especially, he always, wants to be the best. And after seeing what Messi did, he's definitely not done, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I can see that side of that, but I can also see that teams are looking at his age and that I'm not really fancying that too much. Next.
I mean, it's his age, and it's also just like, I think there are just a flurry of absolute quality strikers right now. Like, I think you go a few years ago when like maybe like you had like the era where like Lukaku and Kane were like the best strikers of the Prem. That was an era where there weren't that many great strikers. Like all the ones that were big were the very known ones. And now it's like you have players who are or strikers that are just everywhere they're balling. I mean, even you take someone like Victor Osimhen, right? That's an amazing player. We're not even shouting him near like, anywhere near like the top 10 strikers in the world right now, and he's a fantastic player. So I just think you have he's unfortunate circumstance because he's still quality. He's a fantastic finisher, but there are so many younger strikers that are going to put the running in and just fit to teams' style better, and they're kind of frankly more exciting to have in a growing team.
Definitely.
I don't know. So I see Ronaldo either going to like a team that's like top of their league and gets Champions League season after season, but maybe it's not a great league. Or I mean, I doubt it would happen, but I'd love to see him at like Real again, just as a bench player, just in the locker room. Like I think another romantic return would be really cool.
Jose, 6 month contract. Would you take him on a 6 month
Yeah,
contract?
absolutely, I would. Absolutely. I think
there
that
you go.
he's not that good anymore, but I think that Benzema is getting a little unreliable with injury. So I'd like to have Ronaldo as an option as well. Be good.
I mean, a lot of Real Madrid, it's like Real Madrid, if they can keep consistent in the league, and then they're gonna probably get far in Champions League. I feel like a lot of their Champions League run, it's always those moments that's
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
make or
always.
break for them. It's all moments, so it's not that much consistency, and those moments is what Ronaldo can come in for them.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
And quickly now to fast forward a little bit. And we're gonna fast forward to Chelsea. Christopher Nkunku. It's finally been given. The here we go from Fabrizio Romano has been given. At last, we all knew this was going to happen at some point. We all knew this. Jose, I'm just going to cover to you on this. What are your thoughts on this Christopher Nkunku deal? Do you think this is good business for Chelsea? It's I think it's roughly 50 to 60 million pounds for Chelsea. You know, what do you think Nkunku could bring to Chelsea at the current attacking options, both wingers and strikers? And I'm not naming a certain winger or attacker because I know what that will mean. I know what that will mean. Jose will have to preach about this certain player that they don't already bring to the table. And in your opinion, what do you think the team would look like with Nkunku in the side in regards to the front three? Does he play in the middle? Does he play out wide?
Yeah, I think that he is going to suit them a lot. I think that he's I think he'll probably play in the middle, and I think that he'll play kind of like I think he'll play in a 3-4-3, but almost as a false nine striker in that 3-4-3, and then he'll have like a Sterling and whoever else they want on the right or the left. And those two players would be able to go forward more. So I think that he actually would play really well with Raheem Sterling. I think that they'll link up a lot.
Wow, would you believe
I'm
everyone?
not praising Sterling. I'm just saying that they would play well together.
Hey, it still partially counts. It still partially counts as praising Raheem Sterling. Still kind of counts. Still maybe. Come on. And lastly, now Gabriel Jesus, that injury is unfortunate, and of course, there's no other person I'm going to go over to other than Cyrus. In your opinion, how severe do you think this will affect Arsenal going forward? And do you think an investment in a striker is now an absolute priority for Arsenal? And in regards to specific names, do you have any names in your mind of who you'd like to see come in and replace Gabriel Jesus, even though we already know that Eddie Nketiah is your number one choice to come in and replace Eddie in there up front as the main striker?
Yeah, well, Nketiah as our starting striker will not win us the Premier League. That's for sure. Against Juventus a couple of days ago, he was wank. I've always said that even when Nketiah, scored those 2 goals against Chelsea, I have zero faith in him, to be honest. Like I don't even think he's a good backup striker, to be honest. I think he's been pretty poor this whole season. I don't think he has a attribute that's, that you seem like. I don't think he's extremely fast. I don't think he's amazing at shooting. I think he's an okay finisher. I think we have 2 options. I think option 1 is we sign a striker. We could sign Felix. I don't think he wants to stay in Atletico. At least I wouldn't want to stay in Atletico. Or we could call back Bagaloon. I think he's better than Nketiah. I think we should call him back. That's for sure. Even if we start Nketiah. But yeah, it's a huge blow. Another option is we could also play Martinelli at striker, and put ESR at left wing because ESR is back. But I don't know. It's gonna be tough. It's a huge loss for sure.
There's a lot of talk of that of the Ukrainian Mudryk coming into Arsenal. apparently the Ukrainian president has likened him a lot to Jack Grealish, except that he's apparently, I don't know a whole lot about him, so I'm not going to act as if I know a whole lot about him. But apparently, that's been a player that you have been linked to heavily. Thoughts on bringing Mudryk in? Do you think he would be a good addition to Arsenal, or would you prefer someone else?
To be honest, I don't know much about him, but I think any striker, any attacking option right now, is going to help us, especially if Nketiah is not, playing up to what he should be, and I don't think he will, to be honest. So I think any backup or someone who can replace Nketiah. I could be wrong about Nketiah. I've been wrong before when he scored against Chelsea, but I'm not convinced, to be honest.
That's fair. And now, last part of the show, match day 17 predictions. Thank you to the World Cup, but it's time to say goodbye to international football for a little bit. And we are returning now to club football. Aren't we all excited? The Premier League is back. I'm certainly excited. I can't wait to see the Premier League crack on. Hopefully, Manchester United don't lose their opening game of the season. For that would not be too good for myself and my own mental health. And we'll start off, of course, with Andre. We'll start with Andre. Predictions. Brentford hosting the most boring team in the Premier League, Tottenham Hotspur, with the best right back in the league. Andre, predictions for this game, Brentford and Tottenham.
Yeah, I think it'll be high scoring. I think neither side will have very good control of the game. I'll go 3-2 Tottenham.
Will it be an Emerson Royale to start for you at right wing back? Are we still sticking by Emerson Royale?
I mean, I hear that, I don't know if it's true, but everyone's saying that during the World Cup, Conte has put Spence under his wing and been training him really hard. So now it seems like now we could be beginning to pay attention to Spence, but I just don't think he's gonna get the start.
Serious, Serious, would you stick by Emerson Royale? Would you like to see Tottenham stick by Emerson Royale?
Yeah, I would, and that's not because he's good. It's because it's good for us, because he's shite. But yeah, I think Tottenham's gonna win. I don't like to say it. I just think they're gonna win. Sorry?
Scoreline. If you
I think it's gonna be 2-1. Hopefully there's no penalties for Lloris, because that's not gonna be good. But yeah.
Jose, your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, I think Emerson Royale is the best Brazilian right back since Cafu, honestly. So I think that I agree with Andre. I think it'll be high scoring. I would go 2-2.
That's fair. Now, next into the next game, Southampton hosting Brighton Munich. Andre, I'll start back with you. Thoughts on this game?
I feel like Southampton are always good after there's been a long break.
New manager as well. Nathan Jones from Luton as well.
I'll go 2-1 Southampton.
Wow, that's very bold prediction. Cyrus, what about you? Southampton and Brighton Munich. What are you saying?
I think Brighton's gonna win 3-1, to be honest.
Jose?
This for me has very defensive 1-1 written all over it.
And why so?
I just think Southampton play so defensively and Brighton lack real quality attackers. So I think that it'll be 1-1. One team will probably get a late goal.
That's fair. Now, Leicester hosting Newcastle. Andre, thoughts on that?
We said Leicester, Newcastle?
Mm-hmm. At the King Power Stadium.
I'll go 1-1.
1-1. That's again a very interesting take. Serious, what about you?
I think Newcastle's gonna win 1-0.
And Jose, what about you?
Yeah, I'm gonna do a bit of a Jose prediction. I'm gonna say Madison to score 2-1 Leicester.
Wow. Could this be another classic Jose prediction of the week? Who knows? I know Jose's hoping for that. Next, Crystal Palace hosting Fulham. Andre.
I'll go 2-1 Fulham.
Okay, Sirius, what about you?
I think Crystal Palace is going to win 2-1.
Okay. And Jose.
You're 1-0 Fulham.
All right. Next, Everton hosting Wolves. I actually think this is going to be a very good match. I think this is going to be a very good matchup. I think these are two teams that are actually even from where they are.
Evenly
Andre.
terrible.
It could add a bit for me. What was the match?
Everton hosting Wolves at Goodison.
Yeah, let's go. I'm gonna go 0-0, 0-0.
Cyrus, what about you?
I'm going to go 0-0, to be honest.
Agreeing with Andre. That's a first. Usually it's the I agree with Joe, but now it's the I agree with Andre. That's actually quite funny to see. And Jose, what about you?
I think Everton at home will get something. I think I'll go 2-1 Everton.
Okay. Next, Aston Villa hosting Liverpool. Of course, as we know, Unai Emery has his team playing. They're unbeaten since Unai Emery's come in. Obviously, things are going to look different now since the World Cup is done and they had that long break. But Andre, over to you. Aston Villa against Liverpool. Thoughts on this game?
Well, I mean, it's interesting because we have a few Liverpool superstars who have had a decent break kind of over the World Cup, but I want to back Emery. Let's go 2-1 Villa.
2-1 Aston Villa. Wow. Cyrus, what about you?
I think Liverpool's going to win 3-1. I think they're going to have a better second half to the season.
And Jose, lastly, over to you.
Yeah, I back Emery as well. I think he'll stink out Villa Park and it'll be a 1-1.
Yeah, I'm gonna change it to 2-2 actually.
Okay. All right, fair enough. Next, Arsenal hosting West Ham. Andre, what are you saying for this game?
I think Arsenal usually do decent against West Ham, I want to say. Yeah, let's go 2-0 Arsenal.
Okay, Sirius, what about you?
Yeah, I think Arsenal's going to win. I'm going to say 2-1.
All right, fair. And Jose, over to you.
Yeah, I would go 2-0 Arsenal as well. However, I think that Arsenal are in trouble because of Jesus. I will say that.
Yeah, I mean, definitely can't forget about that. Next, Chelsea hosting Bournemouth. Now, Chelsea, before the World Cup break, were absolutely horrific when you look at their form looking at their games leading up to the World Cup break. And Bournemouth was okay. Like, they won games, they lost some games, but it wasn't horrific. Andre, over to you. What are we saying for this game?
Let's go with 3-0 Chelsea.
Okay, that's pretty fair. I can't lie. Cyrus, what about you?
I thought I was unmuted. Yeah, I think Chelsea's going to win 2-0.
And Jose, what about you?
Yeah, 2-1 Chelsea for me.
Next, the boys, United. We play Nottingham Forest at home. Andre, do you think United will be able to get it done against Nottingham Forest at home?
I do. I think you guys have been on good form, and I think a lot of your players, they played well in the World Cup, but a lot of them haven't made it to the final stages. So let's go. Let's go 2-1.
2-1 United. Okay, that's actually quite interesting. Cyrus, what about you?
Yeah, I think United's going to win 1-0 thanks to Bruno.
And Jose, will we get it done against Nottingham Forest at home?
Yeah, I'm actually very confident, maybe foolishly, but I think we'll win 4-0.
4-0, wow. Emphatic. Sirius's reaction. Sirius has a face of absolute shock. And finally, of course, the last game of match day 17, Leeds hosting Manchester City. Andres, is this one a no-brainer? And what is your score prediction for this game?
Jesse Marsh is gonna clutch it, Davis. It's a no-brainer. No, let's go 3-0 to City.
That's fair. Cyrus, what about you?
Yeah, I'm gonna go like 2-0, 3-0, something like that. 3-0.
Okay, 3-0. And Jose, lastly, over to you.
Yeah, I'll go 4-1 City, Holland brace. He's gonna have a lot to say after the World Cup.
And there you have it. That is season 3, episode 5 of Premier League Primetime. Thank you so much for your time watching this, and let us know in the comments down below what are your thoughts on the topics that have been in store in this feature of Premier League Primetime in the comments down below. Smash like on the video and subscribe to the channel, and be sure to check out our other platforms on Instagram, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts, and wherever you are watching this in the world. We hope you have an absolutely fantastic day / evening.